In this video, we're going to talk about suicide prevention. My name is Leslie White, and I'm a personal development and recovery coach. I am going to tell you some of the things that I implement in my life. I'm going to give you a tool that actually really can help you and your loved ones convey quickly if you are having suicidal thoughts or tendencies. And then finally, I'm going to give you a list of questions that you can ask that can hopefully help you or your loved ones decide that maybe they're not going to commit suicide after all. We talk to my kids about suicide whenever somebody locally or in the news has committed suicide. It's something that we talk about. So I talk to my teens and I tell them, you know, if you ever find yourself in a really dark place where you feel really sad and you feel like you don't want to be here, maybe some terrible things have happened and you're just feeling hopeless. If you ever feel like that, the first thing I want you to realize is that suicide feelings pass. Like if you can just wait, the feelings will go away. I also tell them that there is absolutely nothing that we can't get through together. I tell them that it doesn't matter to me what's happened, what they've done, how big or scary or terrible the situation is. I'm here for them and we'll figure it out. I also tell them that, you know, there is absolutely nothing that God and time cannot make better. You just have to allow the time because God is in the time. We have their backs and that there's nothing they can do that can make us not love them. I also ask them if they remember the code word, and that's the next thing I'm going to tell you. The code word, it's a very quick way to communicate to people that you're in a bad place and that you need somebody to talk to. You want to pick out a code word that's easy to remember and a common word, but not something that you use every day so it doesn't get confused. Let's say, for instance, you picked the code word giraffe. So if giraffe is your code word, you would want to tell your kids, your spouse, your family, and some of your close friends about it. Anyone that you know that might be going through a difficult time, any friends you know that have depressive or suicidal tendencies, make sure you give it to them too. But it's a great way for people to be able to convey immediately if they're feeling like they want to die and they're thinking about suicide. The great thing about it is you can just text the word to your friends or you can call and tell them. And it gets rid of any of the social problems. Because think about it, calling someone to tell them that you feel like committing suicide can be very difficult. So instead, if you can just call and say giraffe, or if you can text the word giraffe, then they know. And also, the more people that have your code word, the better, that you can all share the code word. Another reason a code word is really important is that a lot of times when people commit suicide, their situation and their circumstances look exactly the same that day as they did the day before and the day before that. So friends and family can think, she got through yesterday and she got through the day before, so she'll be fine today. And a lot of times that isn't the case, because the circumstances might be the same and sometimes they're even better than the day before, but the mind isn't there. The mind is in a bad place. And so for them to understand immediately that you're not feeling good, you can just tell the code word and they know that this is important and that they need to call you and they need to get to you. Another reason that a code word is crucial is that kids often will not tell their parents what's going on. They don't want to share what's making them so upset that they're in crisis. So sometimes they might not reach out for help just because they don't want to explain the circumstances. They don't want to tell what happened with the friend or the boyfriend, so instead they just don't say anything. If you have a code word, your kids can just text you or call you and say giraffe. They don't have to explain the situation behind giraffe or what's going on. All they have to do is just let you know that that's the spot they're in. And then you know that no matter what the circumstance is, your child is in crisis and you need to get to them. And I hope that you will implement this. Now, of course, the code word does not substitute for the suicide prevention hotline. Do not, if you can't get a hold of anybody, please call the suicide prevention hotline. But this is another tool that you can add that can help you and to remind you that you have people. You have people that have your back. And I have a code word with my friends and my family, and I make sure, you know, if any of us are going through a difficult time, we're pretty good about saying, don't forget the code word, you better use the code word. And then the next thing I'm going to tell you about is 9.2 million people every year in America contemplate suicide. And then the people who actually do commit suicide are people who have contemplated it. And so what I was thinking is, if you're somebody that's ever thought about suicide, you're not planning to do it right now, but you thought that could be an option later if you got in enough pain, I would love it if you would ask yourself some of these questions. Would you say to your child, your grandchild, your niece, or your nephew, I'm never going to read to you again. I'm never going to go to your game again. I'm never going to go to your graduation. I'm never going to go to your wedding. I'm never going to see your babies be born. Would you say to your pet, I'm never going to feed you again. You need to get another owner. Would you say to your friend, to your sister or your brother, I'm never going to laugh with you until we cry again. I'm never going to text you again. I'm never going to be there for you again. Would you say to your parent, I'm never going to spend another holiday with you again. I'm going to be an empty seat at the table. If you wouldn't say these things to your loved ones now, then please don't say it to them through suicide. What if we started thinking about this? And what if you could say, no matter how much I don't want to be here, no matter how sad I am, no matter how mean you've been to me, no matter how mad I am at you, no matter how small I feel in your life, no matter how alone I feel sometimes, no matter what happens to me, I'm not going to leave here, and I'm not going to leave you. I will not leave you. What if you could say, I'm not leaving my people? You have loved ones. Maybe you can talk to them also, and maybe you can make a pact that you're not going to leave them and they're not going to leave you. Make a commitment that you're not going to leave your people and possibly take suicide completely off the table. My hope is that if you ever get into a spot where you feel so sad and so depressed that you don't want to be here anymore and you're tired, I just hope that you can say, wait a minute, I forgot. I told my people I would not leave them. I made a commitment not to leave my people. And then maybe you can remember, I think I better text Giraffe. And there's nothing that God and time cannot make better. God is in the time, so I have to allow the time. Maybe I'll stay another day. I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to hear what you're using to help implement suicide prevention in your life. And any comments or ideas you have, I'd love to hear. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day.